Zekkyiah, where would you go if you had the opportunity to go to Japan? I don't know. I'm a little spoiled for choice, honestly, because I've been thinking about it for so long. I wouldn't know where to go. I know. I have been watching J-vloggers for quite some time now, so I know what airport I would want to land in. That's a start. There are only a few landmarks that I would want to visit personally, because I think the best part about going somewhere like Japan is that you can go anywhere without a plan and still have a good time. At least coming from a person that lives in Miami, everything over there is probably going to be completely different from anywhere like Ocean Drive. You know, my first thought would be to go to Tokyo Hands, but unfortunately that is gone before I got the opportunity to get there. Shinjuku, which is right next to it, is also a pretty good space. Like I've always said, Durarara is my favorite anime, and I will go everywhere and take pictures and appreciate the areas that have inspired the show, that have inspired me to give me the motivations that I have in life. That is always going to be my motto for going to Japan. That is the first thing I will do when my toe steps foot in Japan. Although in my research, one thing to note about those two places I have been is Shinjuku. There are numerous red light districts. I used to over-glorify the topic of a red light district because I thought, wow, so these places look so trendy compared to what would be considered a red light district here on Miami. But if you don't know, red light districts, they're NSFW areas. I hear Nigerian prince scams are a thing here, which is crazy to me because I didn't even know that there was a populace of these men enough for that to be an actual issue. Obviously, there are going to be sex workers there. Maybe you'll even run to a yakuza while working. That'd be cool on paper. I don't think it'd be cool in practice. There are a lot of host clubs there, but as host clubs have been overblown, they're mainly for people that are very lonely and very rich. I highly stress the importance that if you take anything in this video to plan your own trip, stay wary of people trying to pull you into alleyways and telling you to go to their bar. That is a money trap. Universally, that is a money trap. Don't get caught up in the lure and the pull of it being in Japan. People in alleyways, still people in alleyways in Japan. In broad daylight, it looks good. But you know, after sunset, the monsters, the little stragglers and degenerates start coming out. On the topic of nightlife, I have an unhealthy obsession with love hotels. I have been obsessed with them as of recent. I'd say for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been obsessed with the concept of a love hotel. I would like to own my own love hotel and bring it to Miami, a Japanese style love hotel. Who would have thought? They are to me such an the most interesting facet of Japanese culture because of how unique I have seen they can be. You know, we have some here, they're kind of bleh compared to these works of art. I mean, you've got a publicly used BDSM room, you've got a pirate ship room with Donald Duck in it, odd placements of bedding that create a maze, you've probably got a Chuck E. Cheese one somewhere, little Chuck E. Cheese maze in one of them. I'll link all of the references that I'm talking about below, but because of these alone, I want to bring it to America and have it just as available to people that share this obsession with me. Next, we've got, Mount Fuji. People that climb mountains, props to you. I can barely stomach the distance between the floor and the ceiling. A mountain would have me floored.
Bruh.
Let's not include the fact that I have asthma. Let's not include the fact that it would disqualify me immediately. Because other aspects, like the height, mainly just the height, would destroy me from that experience. Now, I hear and see that the view is to die for. I will also include these links at the bottom. For things I have mentioned before, that is not within my peer view. I love the backdrop of a mountain, but as far as climbing one, no. This is another place that I don't think it's overblown, but I would like to see how it turns up in person. I do note that there aren't many things that you can do there, but it is Studio Ghibli. I don't have Studio Ghibli in Miami, so who am I to complain? They have a replica of the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro. Unbeknownst to everyone, I have a lot of My Neighbor Totoro merch. I have never seen that movie. I probably won't. I just think the giant bunny thing is really cute on certain things. They also have a cafe and a rooftop garden and theater exclusively for studio attractions. Currently, the Straw Hat Cafe is the only sit-down restaurant. So if you're a One Piece fan, this will be a bonus. If not, well, you have everything else to enjoy. This would probably be the best place for any aesthetic-based YouTube channel I have ever seen. I've heard as soon as you step through the gates, a color grade will come upon you. The last stop for yours truly, to no surprise, would be Akihabara. This is the goal you save thousands of dollars for and splurge until the IRS calls. I will not step foot here until I have enough cash to make some more cash, because when I see something, I will buy it, and I will feel no shame after, even if it becomes one of those purchases where I look back and did you really have to buy it? Of course I had to buy it. It's from Akihabara. What kind of purchase there is not worth the money? If I do live here, I would have to have the fortitude of a mountain. The only reason I have not splurged on this much merch is because here, in America, it's kind of inauthentic. There's not as much of it. In Japan, I can willfully spend my life savings on it and have absolutely no regard for any self-preservation because everything's cheap. Lucky bags here cost like $100. Lucky bags there I've seen cost about $14. The slightest mention of anything otaku related, regardless if I live in Okinawa, will catapult me in the center of Tokyo just so I can see what you were talking about. I am hyper aware I might seem cringe. I don't very much care. That is until I would inevitably have to do my American taxes. All of that to say, will I live there? Probably not for long. I prefer living in America. While I've researched some differing opinions, I have little grasp living anywhere outside of where I do now, and that's only the city. The state, I can't, I guess, imagine living in somewhere like Tampa. Never mind living somewhere like Texas or California. So Japan is quite literally out there for me as of now. If I'm wealthy enough, I'll have a vacation home there. But living there for about 2 to 4 years, and that's stretching it a little bit, that's doable. I prefer the countryside, but in order to see all of what it has to offer me, I would kind of have to concede to living in the city. I hate living in the city, especially since the stress of a move there would probably eliminate me before I could even start that race. And also, I'm scared of planes. Yet, who knows? A lot can happen in 5 years. A lot can happen in 10 years. If you guys like this video, give it a slap on the nose and comment your itinerary so I can steal from it. I've linked all the videos to all the places in the description below. Most of the J channels I watched are in the links, but if not, I've linked just a few more of them below as well. Thank you for watching and for the influx of subs. I did not think anything above 30 was possible. Socials in the description at your leisure. And with all that in mind, I bid you adieu. Thanks.